Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a pleasant day out there, and I'm sure most of you away from the coastline are looking at some snow right now. We have plenty of places inland running with some temperatures in the 20s and some snow falling right now, and even some moderate snow in some cases across parts of the state as well. But the coastline, we're not really looking at rain. We're just really not looking at any precipitation for the most part right now. But let's take a look at Freiburg. Yes, look at this, 23 degrees. The snow is falling at a pretty good clip in the Freiburg area right now. Again, plenty cold enough to snow in the Freiburg region at the moment. And we are going to, let me get that back on there. Did we do that? Now let's take a look at a couple other places. Let's go to Auburn. We have, I would say, lighter snow, a temperature of 33 degrees, but it certainly is snowing in the Auburn, Lewiston area right now. Please send me in your reports. Are you guys seeing snow right now? Are you seeing cloudy skies? Maybe you have a coating of snow on the ground in some spots, and then we go down towards Portland. And yes, we're just looking at cloudy skies, a temperature of 34 degrees. Now that temperature may go down another degree or two as we head through the next hour or two, and I'll explain that in just a second. Let's take one last trip up towards Carrabassett Valley. And yeah, it is certainly snowing up there, a temperature of 19 degrees right now. And the snow is coming down again at a light to moderate clip across a good part of the state at the moment. Now, as we take a look at the satellite and radar, you can see that we do have, again, the snow generally from the Lewiston, Freiburg area north towards the mountains right now. If you're down towards the southern part of the state, you're probably not looking at much. Areas like York County, Cumberland County, we're not looking at much of any precipitation right now. It's just cloudy. The mid-coast included in that as well. Now, the mid-coast did see some snow this morning. Some places reported a few inches of snow from the mid-coast over through the down east region. So a lot of places woke up to coatings of snow this morning. We are certainly going to see more of that for many areas we head through the daytime today. And we can actually zoom in a little bit closer to some of these towns that are getting hit right now. Let's go to Oxford County. Yeah, we have a little band right here coming in with some pretty good snowfall rates up towards is that the Route 202 corridor or 201 corridor, excuse me, Route 2 actually. And you can see some of those dark blues indicating some of that heavier snowfall. Let's see if we can get some of the snowfall rates in here. And we are looking, and that's not exactly what I wanted to show. But we're probably looking at some good snowfall rates over towards Route 2 corridor in central Oxford County at the moment. And areas like Rumford looking at some snow, Farmington as well. Freiburg looking at a moderate snowfall at the moment, a lighter snowfall over towards the Lewiston, Augusta area. And as we play this back out again, you can see most of it is kind of just move on off towards the north and east. Now, it's just going to zoom me in a little bit closer. And then Dixfield, areas like Berlin looking at some snow as well. But I do want to expand this out just a little bit. And you can see that we do have plenty of precipitation off to our south and west. A lot of this is going to move in. Now, you notice that most of it right now off to the west in Vermont over towards New Hampshire is pretty much snow. And as we head through the evening hours, I do think some of the warmer air is going to try to move in. And you can already see that down towards parts of Connecticut, Long Island, New York as well. It kind of just popped up there. But they are looking at some rain for areas in Connecticut, parts of Massachusetts will see some rain, Rhode Island as well. I do think we will see a very quick transition to rain down towards the coastline if you see any mix at all as we head through probably the next hour or two. That's our best chance to see some mixing and some snow down towards the coastline. But for the most part, this is going to be a rain event during the evening hours. But there's also a freezing rain possibility as we head through the evening as well. And I'll talk about that in just a second. It's all associated with an area of low pressure. This area of low pressure is going to eventually move kind of right to the north, kind of like this in this direction. This is where it'll head. And here's the difference. That is a warm storm for us most often than not. When we have an area of low pressure that moves up to the north, you have more of a southerly wind. And that being the case, you have the chances for warmer temperatures to move in. Of course, that means the chances for rain. But if this storm were to, say, move instead of over us, if it were to move in this direction, maybe it was going to go just 2 hours south, for example. Say we're to do something like that, then this would be a different story. This would be a storm that would bring us snow for the state, for the entire system. But that is not going to be the case. We're going to see some rain. We're going to see some snow. We're going to see a wintry mix, some freezing rain possible as well. A winter weather advisory has been expanded now to include central and northern Oxford and York counties, Lewiston, Augusta as well. If you're traveling the I-95 corridor, especially north of the Portland area, I do think any places in southern Maine, specifically York and Cumberland County, if you are 10, 15 miles away from the ocean, I think you're going to run the risk, at least for not only a little bit of snow over the next couple hours, but again, the chance for a little bit of freezing rain. The coastline, very close to the immediate coastline, will generally see rain as we head through the afternoon and evening. But as I've been saying all day, if you are, looking at rain and the temperatures 32, 31 degrees, it's a very good chance that, yes, that is freezing rain. And we are going to, see the potential for some slick spots as we head through the afternoon and evening. Temperature 34 degrees right now in Portland. It's jumped up to 34 in Lewiston, which is a little interesting. I didn't think it would jump up that quick, that fast, but I do think these numbers could actually go down a little bit, especially from the Portland area north. I think the Portsmouth region, you're generally just going to see rain with this. I don't see Portsmouth seeing much of any snowfall or wintry mix with this system. But the Portland area north, I do think there is the potential for a little bit. So we are going to take a look at the planner as we head through the next couple hours. We are going to run the risk for some rain and some snow, and then that will eventually transition to plain rain for the Portland area. You can see the numbers go down and then they go up as we head through the evening and nighttime tonight. And we are going to, by the time we get to 5, 6 o'clock, for the most part, see rain here in Portland. And I'm going to time this out. This is what everybody wants to see. So 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, snow is pretty much overspreading the state. And we do have some rain down towards the coastline. Again, Portsmouth and even look at that, Rockland, a temperature of 39 degrees. So these numbers are, well above the chances for any freezing rain or anything like that. But you notice that 33-degree reading in the Portland area, and you'll also notice another thing. One, we are going to see the rain-snow line move to the north. As it does so, we're also going to see that pink shading expand, and that means that there is a greater risk as we head through the afternoon and early evening for some freezing rain. I think anywhere from, central, and there's a reason that these areas have expanded into the winter weather advisory for, central and northern Oxford, Cumberland counties, and York counties, there's a reason that they expanded as National Weather Service, because these areas that I'm highlighting right now have the risk for a little bit of freezing rain. So again, pay attention. If it's raining outside and that temperature is 31, if it's 32 degrees, just be very careful, because again, there is the chance that there will be some freezing rain. You may think it's just plain rainfall, but you go outside and all of a sudden there's ice on your car, on your mailbox, anything like that. There is that potential during the late afternoon and early evening hours, as that is likely going to expand that threat. Notice up towards the north, Rangeley, Berlin, even Freiburg, this is generally going to be a snow event for you guys. And then you head down towards the coastline. We are talking mostly rain, but again, a little bit more concerned about those areas just north of Portland. This includes areas like Gray. This includes areas like Gorham. This includes Sanford, for example. There is that potential, but we are going to see a better chance for just plain rainfall for areas like Rockland. Somebody was mentioning, Colette was mentioning Rockland. So Rockland, I think this is generally going to be a rain event. If you see any snowflakes, it's probably going to be over the next hour or so. I don't even think you will, because one, we're dry along the coastline right now, but we are probably going to be warm enough to where it's just plain rain in the Rockland area. So that is, of course, some good news. Angel coming in with Auburn. So the Auburn-Lewiston area, I think you start out as snow. You're already snowing right now. Send in another comment here and tell me what you're seeing right now. Are you seeing some light snow in Auburn? I'd like to know. I'm sure you are, but the Auburn-Lewiston area is showing some light snow at the moment. That is what is coming on our webcams. But I do think as we head through the afternoon and evening, I think that temperature that right now is 34 degrees in Lewiston could drop a little bit as we head through the nighttime. Some of the precip coming down can cool the atmosphere. And that being said, there is the potential, I would say 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., maybe even 7 or 8 p.m. in the Lewiston, Augusta area, that there could be a little bit of freezing rain. So that's the time frame. That doesn't mean it's going to be freezing rain for those 4 or 5 hours, but that is what we are looking at in those areas in particular. Let me keep going with this, and you can see by 9 o'clock, many areas are now starting to transition over to just plain rain. And we have to keep a close eye on some of those valleys, some of the places that could hold on to the colder air just a little bit longer. Areas like Augusta, you're probably transitioning over to plain rain by 7, 8, 9 o'clock. But we're going to keep a very close eye on that. Of course, Charlie will be in during the evening hours to give you an update. I'm sure he'll probably be back on Facebook Live. But we are going to see probably a transition as we head inland, say Lewiston, Augusta area. We probably see that transition from a wintry mix to plain rain between about 7 and 9 p.m. for most areas. Up towards the north, it's still snow for Rangeley, Berlin, Freiburg as well. And we are going to see this continue through about the midnight hour. You notice by the time we get to 11 o'clock, we are looking at, I would say, most of this precip starting to wrap up. If it's not wrapped up, it's probably lighter out. We are going to see still some rain down towards the coastline, and we will see that snow up towards the north. And again, the potential for a little bit of a wintry mix for some areas as well. Sheila, hello to you. Good afternoon. Snowing in Waterville right now. Thank you for the report there. And what else we got? Let me do that. So here we go. Let's go to the daytime tomorrow. I want to mention this, and I will get to some more of your comments as well, but we are going to see areas as we head through the daytime tomorrow. The sunshine will return. So that is some good news. The only bad news to the daytime tomorrow is that we are talking temperatures that are going to start probably in the 30s for many areas, but by the time you get home, it's actually going to be colder 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon than it will be at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, it's typically the opposite, where we have the warmer temperatures during the afternoon, but front's going to swing through, the wind's going to kick up, and we are going to see colder temperatures rush in as we head through the, I would say, mid to late afternoon hours. Now, we have somebody else mentioning here, very light snow in Gardner. Thank you, Randy, for the report. And Richard also mentioning Gardner as well. Snowfall amounts, I would say Gardner, south of Augusta, I would say you're probably not. I think you'll see probably 1 to 2 inches of snow. And what's going to happen is I do think, again, areas like that are going to see a little bit of a transition to potentially some freezing rain and then plain rain as we head through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Now, this is one of our computer models that indicates ice and how much and where it could fall. Now, it gives you the idea that, yes, there is that potential in that area that I circled, but I personally, from what I've just seen, is I would expand this all the way down through areas like this. And somewhere around there. I could have probably drew a little bit of a better line there. Let me try this again. Doing this live, you know what I'm saying? So I would say any areas like this and the pink shading down, I think the coastline, you're mostly spared of any freezing rain, but only 10, 15 miles inland, especially north of Portland, you're going to run the risk for some freezing rain. So just keep an eye on that. Of course, we're also talking about snow. Many areas will see 2 to 5 inches of snow. And I'm seeing other reports, Colette saying very fluffy snow right now in Rockland. So that's got to be already on the ground because it's not actually snowing in Rockland right now. That was probably from this morning's event, overnight into early this morning. Many areas along the mid-coast and down east saw very fluffy snow. We saw a coating here in the Portland area as well. And another comment coming in just now, Scott saying we got some white snow in Rumford. Let me know in Rumford. Let me know, Scott, I'm sure I know the answer to this already. Very fluffy snow, I guess I should say. A very light, fluffy snow. I'm sure that's what it is. Let me know if it is. And if you have any accumulations, you have a coating, you have about an inch or two, I'd love to know what the latest is in Rumford, because I know it's starting to snow up there now. But we're looking at 2 to 5 inches. I think many areas could see upwards of 3, 4, and 5 inches of snow, especially if we can get enough of this precip to move in, especially because it will be a fluffy snow across the north. As you head over towards the Greenville area up through Aroostook County, many spots will probably see upwards of 4 to 8 inches of snow, 4 to 8 inches for the White Mountains as well. No surprise there. And then you head through the Lewiston, Augusta area. We're still keeping coating to 2. I think many spots will probably, get 1, 2 inches of snow. But again, that transition to freezing rain potentially and then plain rain may wash most of that 1 to 2 inches of snow away. So you may see a coating to 2, but then by the time you get to tomorrow, you might not have too much, at least in terms of this event, still left on the ground. Glenn, thank you for the report. I appreciate all you guys sending in these reports from Lincoln. And Connor, you're funny. This is, it's funny because a lot of people would say, oh, I'm so jealous. It's sunny. It's probably super warm in Florida. I love it. I love these events. I love the snow. I just wish we were getting more snow on the coastline. But I'm sure a lot of people on watching this right now are jealous of you, Connor. I would say I'm not super jealous because I just love this is what I live for. This is what I enjoy, the snow. And of course, the wintry mix that comes along with it. The freezing rain, though, that can go away. Anyways, let's talk about some winds. We're also going to deal with some winds as we head into the evening hours. We are going to see wind gusts as we head through the evening as that low pressure gets closer, upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour. It may weaken just a little bit before it picks back up as we head into the day on Thursday. These temperatures are going down during the day on Thursday. Again, you're going to start in, let's pick Portland, for example. You're probably going to start 32, 33 degrees as we head into the morning hours, 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. By the time you head home from work, 4 or 5 o'clock, it's probably in the low 20s, maybe some upper teens. On top of that, you're talking a wind upwards of 25 to 30, 35 miles per hour. So we are going to be dealing with the wind chill, and I'll show you that in just a second. And not only are we going to deal with the wind chill for the daytime tomorrow, we are also going to deal with it for the day on Friday as well. So certainly going to be a pretty chilly end to the work week, which is expected, of course. And Scott coming in again with the report that I thankfully asked for, and I'm glad you're tuning back in. A coating right now. I'm sure a lot of places up towards the north are dealing with some coatings right now because it's, just starting, of course. And you're going to see plenty more than a coating of up towards Rumford as we head through the next, say, 12 or so hours. I would say Rumford, you're probably talking 3 to 5 inches of snow in that area. And yes, and part of it is because it's such a light, fluffy snow and it's not, a dense, wet snow, because that's, of course, a lot harder to pile up. Now let's talk about the wind chills. And let me get that off the screen for you. Let's talk about the wind chills we head into tomorrow. This is 6 o'clock in the morning. You think 27 degrees, that's not too bad. Watch what happens as we head into the afternoon. This is 5 o'clock. It goes from 27 degrees is what it feels like at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You're driving home from work and it feels like 8 degrees in Portland, below zero up towards Rangeley, over towards the Berlin area. A temperature of around 7 degrees is what it will feel like for Lewiston for tomorrow evening. So you may step outside tomorrow morning on your way to work thinking, I don't need a coat, maybe a sweatshirt will be fine. But you're going to head home and you're going to be freezing your butt off. So I would grab the coat on the way out the door for tomorrow. Maybe you don't use it during the morning. Maybe you do. But if you don't, have it for the evening hours. You wake up Friday morning, that's a different story. We're talking wind chills that will run in the low single digits for many areas, below zero up towards the north. And then even into the evening, it's going to stay on the chilly side. So it's going to be cold out there as we head through the next couple days. And then we will see, temperatures that, again, along the coastline will run likely in the 30s for the next couple days. But when you factor in the wind, it will certainly feel much colder than that. So some rain out there for the afternoon along the coastline. I was hesitant to put mix and rain because I do think there is even a little bit of a chance of some mix over the next 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours along the coastline, at least parts of the coast. But most of us are just going to see plain rain at the immediate coastline. Again, it's 10, 15, 20 miles inland that things can change. Now, Thursday, Friday, the sunshine returns, but it will be on the windy side. Dress for temperatures probably in the teens, I would say, for most of the day. And then partly sunny skies for the day on Saturday. And right now, we're still running the chance for some snow on Sunday. I will say that the latest guidance for the day on Sunday isn't super impressive, at least from what I have seen. I will say that I think, you know, a day or two ago, I would say, there was that threat because we had some computer models hinting at a storm system moving in on Sunday, but it's just not looking very impressive right now. I know it's a bummer for many areas, many people who love the snow like myself. But right now, let's go chance snow still. We're not going to totally take it out of the forecast. We're still watching it, but right now the guidance isn't super impressive. So again, if you're not a big snow fan, maybe that is some good news for you. So I'm going to answer some of your guys' questions. While I do that, I'll pull up the radar and take a look at that. Don, hello to you. Good afternoon. No snow yet in Orono. Yeah, you guys, not yet. It's coming though. It's not too far away over towards the Orono area. Snowing in Lincoln. Thank you for the report, Glenn. Appreciate it. Leslie tuning in, some light snow in Hamden right now. Thank you for that report as well. Skowhegan looking at some snow. So yeah, a lot of places looking at snow. Again, especially south of Lewiston, Augusta. That's where we have the cloudy skies, but it's those areas north that are looking at the snowfall for the most part. And also for the most part, we're looking at a very light, fluffy snow for many spots. So that's, very easy to move. So that is some good news in that respect as well. So we are going to see some snow as we head through, areas inland over the next couple hours, and then we are going to eventually fill in down towards the coastline. You can see areas in southern New Hampshire over towards Massachusetts, and I guess especially over towards southern New England. All of that is going to move in. So you're not looking at much at the coastline right now. Things will start to fill in, but the longer, of course, it waits, the better chance that we see just mostly rain for the coastline. So be prepared for a little bit of freezing rain in spots, especially around the Lewiston area, Augusta area, 10, 15 miles inland. We're running the risk for the chance of some ice as we head through the late afternoon, early evening hours. Snow up towards the north, plain rain down towards the coastline. The mid-coast should generally just be rain, as well as southern York County. But it's areas like Sanford that could see a little bit of freezing rain, just places like that. So keep an eye to it. Keep an eye to the temperature. If you don't have an actual temperature gauge at your house, maybe you have an app that shows the temperature. If it's raining outside and you see that temperature is 31 or 32 degrees, again, just use some extra precautions if you are stepping outside this afternoon or evening. All right, everybody, I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Enjoy the storm, I guess. And I will see you guys later. All right. Have a good one.